So I just found out about the book rush that's going on. It was kind of a spur of the moment decision, I guess, to do it right now. Technically it started yesterday, so I'm a little behind, but I figured, hey, it goes through the 19th. I want an excuse to read some books, so let's do it. So, there are 4 challenges to meet with this book rush. We've got read a book with a house on the cover, read a book in the same room the whole time, read a book set somewhere you wish you could go to, and read a book that makes you smile. I don't know if I'll meet all of those challenges or not. So far I only even have 3 books that are on like my TBR. I say TBR in quotes because technically I just finished one of them. What can you do? So the first one that I've done for this is The Game by Diana Wynne Jones. I had technically already started this book. I had started reading it at work and had been reading it on my lunch breaks. And then this came along and I was like, this would be a good way to just finish it up real fast because it was a short one and I was kind of feeling like, oh, I just want to finish it. So I took this as an opportunity to do that. And this one, especially since it's a Diana Wynne Jones, and I definitely smiled through the book because she's one of my favorite authors, counts as reading the book that made me smile. Just a little bit of background if you're interested in reading this one. It's got some Roman mythology going on in it. It's got Diana Wynne Jones's traditional, unique, fun magic system stuff going on that plays around with mythology and also just stories in general, because there's a little bit of fairy tale to it as well, but it focuses most heavily on Roman mythology, but it is also still set in a fairly modern world. So that's something that you may be interested if you wanted to look into Diana Wynne Jones. It is, again, a very quick read, so it might be something that'd be a fun try to see if you're interested in her writing style. Then, for the next one, the book with a house on the cover, I want to read another Diana Wynne Jones. This is Fire and Hemlock. This is my absolute favorite book, period. As you can see, there's a very prominent house on this cover, at least the version I have. I know some of the newer versions of this do not have a house on the cover, but this is the version I have, so it counts. So the basic premise of this one is that our main character, Polly, finds out that she has 2 sets of memories, and then she goes through those memories trying to figure out what happened and why she has 2 sets of memories. There's some sort of fairy elements to the story as well, but not like the little spritzy fairies that have like fairy rings and stuff. More like deeply lore-based ancient England kind of fairies that like live underground more like and have the deep dark magics and stuff. It also plays into the story of Tamlin. If you know anything about that story, it mentions Thomas the Rhymer, which I think is a related-ish story to Tamlin. I'm not as familiar with that one as Tamlin. But anyways, it's another super fun one. I'm really looking forward to rereading it because it's just one of my favorite books in general anyways. No, my favorite book in general. I've read this probably most of basically any book I own, and I have memories of reading it from the time that I was pretty young, clear up to now, so getting to it at least once a year is always fun. And this will be my for sure one read this year. So I'm excited and looking forward to that one. And then the other 2 that I have to satisfy is reading a book set somewhere you wish you could go, or reading a book in the same room the whole time. So I'm thinking that the easiest one of these to manage will be reading a book in the same room for the whole time. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that with 10 by Gretchen McNeil, which I'm looking forward to after having just finished 359 by Gretchen McNeil. Hopefully this one's another fun YA suspense. It's supposed to be basically the story of And Then There Were None, but more for like a YA audience. So I'm curious to see how this one turns out, and I hope it's real good. And then, yeah, like I said, I've only got these 3 books for my TBR right now. I don't know what I want to read if I want to try to find one that's set somewhere I wish I could go to, because I don't really have any books in mind for that. All of my books right now are like suspense, mystery, thriller type stuff. I've got some horror novels on my Kindle, and it's like, I don't think any of these are places I want to go to. So I don't know what to do with that. But I am toying with maybe the idea of rereading Mistborn, because I do like the world of Mistborn. And that would arguably be a world I would want to go to. But we'll see if I get through these couple other books, because Fire and Hemlock is just over 400 pages. It's like 420. My copy smells so good. Such an old one, but it smells so good and I love it. Again, it's a favorite. So yeah, that one's about 420 pages. And then 10 is 294 pages. So not overall that much to read, but I have still been having some trouble focusing on reading because of the stress from quarantine stuff. So maybe just having those two for sure is my goal, and then Mistborn as a maybe if I get through those two. I only have till the 19th, so again, we'll see where it goes, but that's kind of my plan for right now. Let me know if you're going to participate in the book rush and what you're reading for it, or if you have perhaps a recommendation for me of a world that you would want to go to that could be my final book if I decide not to go with Mistborn, and or just because you think it's a good world that I might enjoy jumping into sometime. But yeah, that's all I've got for now, and I'll keep you posted on how the rest of my reading goes for this book rush, and I think that's all I've got for now. So this is the Umlaut Harper signing out.